Man, what's up, y'all? This is y'all's host, Kaleb Maryland with Keeping It PC, and I'm here today with co-host Greg Powers.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
What's up? How you doing today?
Great, man. Great to be here for your big day. And also, talk about some top talent, right? You get an interesting perspective on the recruiting process from your side, and I have one from mine, and I'm interested to see how that matches up.
Yes, sir. But first off, I just want to say thank you for coming out here today. And thank you to Dave Campbell's football for allowing you to be out here also, because I know you have a lot in your schedule and you're a busy man. So it really means a lot to me that you're able to take time out of your day and get out here.
Well, it means a lot to me that you invited me, right? Like, this is a big moment in your life. This is something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And it's the start of your next level journey,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So whenever you make your commitment later on in the show, everybody's going to be hype about it. But at the same time, you know that you're turning the page and going to have to take care of some business once you get off to college, wherever that is.
Yes, sir. And, when was the last time that you suited up, Coach?
Man, it's been since 1996 I played my last football game. So It's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But, today we're going to break it down in quarters. So right now we're in the first quarter, we're just coming out. You see the fans cheering for us and everything.
We had our hype music back in the day, though. It was Thuggish Ruggish Bone, just letting you know that was the locker room joint back in 1996.
Okay. What high school did you go to?
Glenpool High School, just south of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, were y'all any good?
You know what? We were not good while I was there, but 2 years after I left, they won the state championship. I didn't get to experience any of that glory, but some of my hometown friends did. So,
that's what's up, though, bringing the state back down to the hometown.
For real.
That's what every kid dreams of.
No doubt about it.
And, especially, I'm from Northshore, so
I know y'all want it.
That's the standard for us, for sure.
I know y'all want it. And especially, this season, because I feel like last year probably left a little bit of hunger, right? Like y'all
100%.
Probably feeling a little bit of pressure too. And everybody's probably been putting in that work in the off season to try to lift that trophy up at the end of the year.
Yeah, so, we're not really feeling pressure, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
Like I said, with state, the standard is the standard here. And that's just how we're built. In the weight room, on the field, the competitiveness every single day, offense, defense going at it. When we stretching, we're going at it too. Who can be the best at stretching?
Well, you get a unique perspective on that, being the man under center, right? The first question people are going to ask about this year's Northshore team, to me, is how's it looking up front? Like, what's the O-line looking like? You get a unique perspective on it. You know how the guys are doing. They're going to be able to keep you clean this year?
Oh, I'm going to be very clean. Like I just came out from the laundry room type
there
of clean. But, we're going to be huge up front this year. My left tackle, we call him Big Bree. His name is Brandon. He's 6'7", about 285. He's a big boy. He's a sophomore this year.
Nice.
So
Big Bree just a sophomore.
Yes, sir. Then I'm going to have a guard. We have two guards right now. The number one guard is going to be, we call him R2. He's a good player too. He's about 6 foot. He's also 280. And then the other guard who splits in with him is Abdus Kone. He's a big boy now. He's about 6'6", 320. That boy, he's huge. Then my center is Isaac Aranda.
Okay.
He'll be wearing number 74. And he's very versatile. Last year, if you turn on his film, you'll see him at like left tackle or guard, right tackle and everything. But, around the 6'3", 6'4", 290, picking up weight still. He's probably going to hit 300 before the season starts. My right guard, we got Jalen Fields, 30 is what we call him. He's been starting for 3 years now. And he's about 6 foot, 6'1", 300 pounds. So
I love that you know all of the O-linemen's information, right? You're not only just knowing who they are, their height, weights, what they're putting up in the weight room. And I think that's a big thing about leadership, especially at a big school like Northshore, where you got to be holding yourself accountable, but the quarterback of the team also has to hold a lot of the other players accountable for what they're bringing to the field, what they're bringing to practice. This is going to be your senior year.
Yes, sir.
How are you looking up to the year stacking up for yourself?
Man, to be honest, I just been like, I haven't really, because a lot of people like to compare themselves to other people's. I haven't really been comparing with myself to nobody because, I've had amazing quarterbacks come before me. We had KB, and then, 4-year starter also with Demetrius Davis. Those are two amazing quarterbacks that were there before me. And I haven't really compared myself to them because I feel like it's my senior season. I want to leave my own type of mark.
Well,
both of them.
I can do a little bit of it. You're not going to compare yourself to them, but what my expectations are for Northshore this year with you under center is I look to see a little bit of a different dynamic. I feel like your escapability, your ability to get outside of the pocket. I mean, you're a pocket guy when you need to be, but when things heat up and you guys need to make a play, I think I'm going to be looking to you to be able to pull the ball down at those times and make that play. And to me, that gives a different dynamic to the team because you mentioned KB, you mentioned Davis. They could run a little bit, but you can run a lot. Yes, and I think that is going to change the dynamic of what y'all bring to the field.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. It's definitely going to be a whole new ball game. So, we got the nerves out now, Mr. G.
Second quarter.
We in that second quarter.
I think we got a 14-0 lead.
Oh, yeah. 21-0 lead.
21-0 lead.
Yes, sir. So, my first question for you today is, what is it like with the Dave Campbells, how y'all go through the recruitment and how y'all keep up with everybody?
21-0, but you're putting me back on the goal line. Here, I got to do the drive. I got to drive in. Now, I love what we do at Dave Campbell's Texas Football as far as covering recruiting because I always like to say we cover recruiting from the ground up, right? And we start with the high school and go from there. I feel like one of the things that I really work hard to do is to put myself ahead of the game. Whenever I go into the 2025 season, I'm targeting underclassmen, trying to go to their games and get my eyeballs on them. That's my main thing is to try to make sure that I'm working ahead because recruiting gets younger and younger, you know? So every
how low do y'all like where do y'all start at?
So the hardest list that I put together easily is for the DCTF Rising magazine, which drops every December. I have to put the top 25 freshmen in that magazine. So the top 25 freshmen will go in that magazine. And I'll tell you, press date for me to get it off is the end of September. So there's not very much time at the beginning of the season to find out freshmen who are playing at the varsity level in Texas. There's always dudes.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely always
but there's
dudes.
always been a list of guys like Anthony Hill and DJ Hicks. Those guys were just playing JV ball. So the fact that they made that list, it takes a lot of work. You got to use your networking to try to find out some of those up-and-comers, 7-on-7, in the offseason can help some of that too. Camps and all that. You get a chance to go to college camps or, some of these Under Armour 8th grade camps and all that kind of stuff can put you onto some of the young guys.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool process. I don't think people realize, what it really takes to, just keep up with everything because, that's a whole lot. Just trying to find those kids and all that.
It's a big state. We have over 400 every year in Texas that goes on to the FBS level or higher. So it's a lot of really good players. And I'll say something else, you can go to a game on Friday night and you could be at the mercy of that could be that player's best game. That could be that player's worst game. Yeah. So one of the toughest things to do when you do what I do, because we don't only cover recruiting, I do the rankings, right? So one of the toughest things is to try to pull out any bias because if I watch the tape and the game I went to, I felt like that player was better. I try to look for the reasons or worse, try to look for those reasons why and try to find some sort of middle ground on that because sometimes those highlight tapes can pop, but the game tape doesn't.
The game tape doesn't. Yeah. Game tape speaks volumes for sure.
From your perspective, Kaleb, I wanted to turn the tables on you a little bit here. I feel like I got past the 50. I punted it to you. You got it down around the 20-yard line. Now it's your turn. Talk to us a little bit about going through the process because I remember back in January when you come to the Next Level Athlete 100 Showcase, you took MVP honors home with you. That kind of kicked off a really busy time for you that's culminating in today's commitment. What was it like just from your perspective? And a lot of people don't get to hear this, honestly, what was it like going on all the visits? Is it truly magical? Is the outsiders look at it, or can it also be a grind?
Man, so first, I'm going to just start off right now that it's also a grind,
Yeah.
It goes in with all that work that you put in, the preparation that you put in to be great. But, starting off with the Next Level Athlete Camp, a little background on that. I went there 2 years prior. And I think that the dudes who got the MVP those 2 years prior that I lost to were Kaiden Barker and Roman Seymour.
Yeah.
Right. Two dudes that I talked to that I know really well. Pretty good guys. But, going into that camp for a third year, my whole goal was to just show myself I cannot walk out without this MVP. it was kind of like having a chip on my shoulder. Yeah, it worked. You know, that was good. But it was like I had this chip on my shoulder because I felt like, you know, if I get this MVP, that it's really going to jumpstart things for me, which it did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think after I got the MVP, I got the Utah offer.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
About, maybe less than a week. Because I remember the coach had called me. It was right after practice ended, too. And he got on the phone with me. You know, he said, you know, Kaleb, man, we'd like to give you the offer to Utah.
Probably a pretty cool day.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. I had my teammates around me. It's like, you got the offer? We was all hyped. We was jumping around. So, but then they started flowing in. And it's been an amazing process, you know, just getting love from all these different coaches and just seeing how different coaches operate with kids.
Right.
Because I haven't talked to one coach that talks to me like how another coach talks. They're all different. You know, some coaches are more calm than the others. Some coaches are more aggressive than others in a good way. Where like, you know, I'm on the phone like, what's up, Kayla? How you doing, baby? And, you know, it'll be 9 a.m. when they call me, you know? But, I mean, even with that, you know, I went on 3 official visits.
Right.
And my first one was University of Louisiana Lafayette, which, I mean, I love the culture down there. It was amazing. The food was amazing. The coaches was amazing. I mean, they pretty much hit every box that I had. And then after that, you know, I went to Utah State where Coach Mendenhall is at now, just leaving from New Mexico. And, you know, Coach Mendenhall, he has an amazing track record. He sent 136 NFL players to the, not NFL players, but players to the NFL in 18 years. So, I mean, just comparing those 2 coaches together, it's really opened my eyes a lot, just seeing like what the differences are. And then my last visit with, you know, the UTEP Miners, you know, new coaching staff, it's their second year.
And I know they're bringing that energy you was talking about.
Oh, yeah, they definitely did. You know, that's what I was really going to speak on because, you know, they got really young coaching staff. Right. And, you know, you see what they're building, and it's amazing what they're building down there. But head coach Scotty Walden, when I say he brings the energy, I mean, like, he brings the energy. Just talking.
Oh, I've seen him on those visits alongside all the recruits, like hanging out, you know.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know, just talking with the players from that program, too. I mean, they say it's 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Coach Walden get up in here. He's like, let's go, baby. You know, it's time to get hyped. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. That's amazing energy to have.
I think that's some great perspective on it, too, because you touched on 3 of the things that I feel like when I go out and talk to recruits that are some of the most important things. 1, culture. 2, what can you do for my career and how is this a good fit for me on the field? Oh, yeah. Who have you sent to the league? And then 3, the energy of a young coaching staff, you know, 100%. Or a young position coach that you can really form a bond with, makes it sometimes tough to make that final decision. And that's why I'm kind of hyped about today to see where you end up picking.
Yes, sir. And, you know, with that, I mean, it kind of hits everything. All those schools hit like my main 3 points with the environment, the coaches and coaching stability, and also with playing time. So, I mean, it's awesome just being in the situation that God has blessed me to be in.
Well, congratulations, man. Like I'm sure everybody that's watching this, it's going to be not too long. We're going to be able to find out where you're going to be going.
Yes, sir. You already know, Mr. G. You know, we just got done with that second quarter. We're coming out of halftime. We up 20-0, but the job not done.
Let's go.
So, you know, to start this segment off, let's talk about some local recruits.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
You know, this is what I get here up for.
So what are some local recruits that you want to bring up?
Well, you know what? I think that you have to start talking about Houston football because Keyshawn Henderson is the #1 rated player in the state. I think on most websites, I think Rivals might have Felix Ojo rated at #1 now.
I think they just dropped a new one with I think Dia might be over him.
Really?
Rivals, yeah, on their new Rivals 300.
Gotcha. So he plays at Houston Legacy School of Sports Sciences. And to me, there have not been a lot of upper echelon quarterbacks coming from Houston private schools. Oh, yeah. Right? So this is probably one of the first guys that's been at that position that's been rated this high. And he's a fun player to watch, right? Like he's a guy 100%. Who can bring – I had more experience watching him play wide receiver and safety kind of on the circuit, but playing quarterback in high school, I think that he has a cool story because he's committed to Houston, right? And I think that kind of kicked off what would be a good era for Willie Fritz because they were able to land a guy within their hometown borders.
Oh, yeah, and then, I mean, that brought more Houston commits. But, you know, Keyshawn, that's my guy, actually. Me and him are real cool with each other. we worked together with Michael Bishop, who's also his coach there,
right?
Legacy, and
that's another cool connection, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. But just working with Keyshawn, like me and him both, when we did work together, those times we just both pushed each other to the full extent. We both wanted the same amount, and he's a really good dude. You see the work effort that he puts in, and I mean, it got him number one in Houston area and in all our sites. So,
well, I feel like you can't really talk about Houston ball without talking about Jermaine Bishop.
Oh.
What's the perspective? What's the perspective of the players, right? Like here, of a guy like Jermaine Bishop, because there hasn't been a lot of guys that fit his mold that play in the style that he plays it. Because he's not a bigger dude.
I mean, no,
but
definitely
he
not.
plays with I guess more of a cutthroat ability or reckless abandon. He throws his body around.
With Jermaine, I watched a couple of Willis games, especially with DJ Lagway.
Yeah,
he was still there. Jermaine, I mean, he's definitely one of the ones. He just committed to Texas.
Yep.
But, watching him play receiver and cornerback, and, a lot of people doubt him because of his size. I mean,
right.
But, I mean, he has the speed to back it up, and then he's just a playmaker. He's a dude. Like, me and Jermaine were on a little league team together called the Southside Ducks. Yeah,
that was a cool team.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. We had some of the top players on.
How was y'all's jerseys?
We had the best jerseys, like hands down, that I've ever seen. They had a red jersey. They had like an alternate jersey. I think they had a breast cancer jersey too, or a white jersey. I mean,
so this team was good. This team was legit.
Oh yeah, this team was legit.
If you got 4 jerseys, you're winning championships.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, you go to that team, you winning a lot.
So Jermaine Bishop to me gets this Travis Hunter comparison, right? And I feel partially responsible because I'm probably somebody that said he could remind you of a Texas high school football version of Travis Hunter. But one of my least favorite things to do in recruiting is to talk about the comparison game.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been doing this since 2004. I've written over 12,000 recruiting articles. I've ranked over 8,000 players, whether they were national, in Texas, or JUCO. And each recruitment, and now that you went through this, as you know, is unique and individual.
Oh, 100%.
And that's because every player is different. The situation at every school is different year over year. Schemes change, coaches change, numbers plays a huge role in what a class might look like for a college. So you can never take player from 2026, compare them to a player from 2024. I think that gets really tricky and tough, but he has those type of qualities where he could play on both sides of the ball, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he definitely does. I mean, you see him do it now, and people doubt on him, thinking he's not going to be able to do it at the next level, but you saw what happened with Travis Hunter. So,
biggest sleeper on Northshore's team.
On Northshore's, ooh,
I know y'all.
It's multiple. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Reset button.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's multiple because really, our whole team really slept on. To be honest with you, but I'm gonna just name out a lot of the guys that are slept on. First, I'm gonna start off with Zaquan Nunn. He's a big sleeper.
Good pick.
He had 8 sacks last year with 24 tackles for losses. He's gonna be wearing 99.
Plays with tremendous pad leverage. By the way, strong.
Definitely. 6'1", 285 pounds. Big boy, runs a 4.8 40. I mean, you don't see that a lot from people that height and that.
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second, Caleb. You reminded me I was gonna do something. I just thought of it. All right, I've been waiting to do this. Zaquan Nunn just earned his third star here at Dave Campbell's. I've been waiting to drop this, for a few days. So he is now a DCTF 3-star. Long time overdue. Louisiana Tech commit, right? He's been committed. I've known him for a while. And this is one of those surprises where I looked in my database. Like, we're a one-man operational database. Thanks to my co-worker, Mallory Hartley, coming on board this year, helping me with database stuff. But now we're able to officially push the button, make Zaquan Nunn a 3-star, committed to Louisiana Tech. So,
yes, sir.
Good call out on that.
He's been working for it too, for sure. That's one of the sleepers that's definitely been working for it. But, just to name a few more sleepers, I mean, we got Isaac Aranda, one of the most versatile O-linemen that I've seen since I've been in high school. We have Dorian Barnes. He's going to be my slot receiver this year.
Got a good family connection to North Shore, too.
Oh, yeah. Christopher Barnes, too.
Yep.
He's at Wake Forest. His
both look like they're fast.
Oh, yeah. Really twitchy dudes. I mean, both game changers, to be honest with you. We have Jalen Bocart, who's another receiver. Then we got a new transfer who came in during the spring, Davion Jones. He's going to be a sleeper, too. So
tell me a little bit about Aubrey Johnson. I heard he picked up an offer from Texas Tech.
AJ. So AJ, he's one of my younger cats. He's class of 27 receiver. Him and DeFreeze, they're both 27 receivers. But AJ, I mean, he only improves each and every single
Pass
week.
the eyeball test.
Oh yeah, definitely does. About 6'2", 180 pounds. He was at Texas Tech. I think he went 4.49.
Okay.
So, those are great numbers to have, especially as a young guy who's just going to keep improving. But, since I've known AJ, I mean, his game just elevates and elevates, from the receiver position because, some people, they get to a certain point and they get stuck there.
Right.
But I mean, that's not the case with AJ. I see him putting the work in on the field every other day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He gets his breaks on Sundays. But I mean, just seeing him work like that, seeing how his footwork has changed, seeing how his speed has changed. I mean, it's just amazing to see how he's developing as one of the top receivers in the 27 class. Because if I'm being honest with you, them dudes that you see in the Rivals 324/7 that they got top 10, I don't think they can mess with him.
Yeah. So I think you brought up an interesting point too about ceiling and floor, right? Like a lot of guys are hit their ceiling early or peaking early. And you've now got to see the grind coming up through the process, being, on the radar for such a long time. You've seen some of those guys who were early risers getting the offers. And I caution recruits all the time who are watching this kind of stuff going through the process, who are nervous about offers in a certain class. There's a very select subset of guys who pick up offers. And they'll pick up more and more offers because they have to be able to have a chance to keep it warm, right, with some of these guys. I'm not into the offer counting game. I think if you're a good player that you'll come and rise up to the top and the coaches will find you in a state like Texas, especially at a school like Northshore where everybody's going to be coming to y'all games.
And, I mean, just to put some input into it, I think so many kids, they look at that so hard that, mentally it kind of messes with them because
social media.
Social media, I've had talks with people from different schools, be a junior or senior, and they'll see a young cat, 8th grade, 9th grade, 25 plus offers, and just what it does to some people mentally. I mean, some people handle it really well. And,
you talked about the camp thing. You talked about the camp thing where you went with Kaiden, you went with Roman, and then you won MVP the third year. There wasn't a bone in your body that probably thought that those two guys were better than you when they won the MVP award, right? You thought you won the MVP award.
100%.
And that's what makes some of that kind of stuff tough, right? Because you have to play the comparison game, and sometimes what you know and see on the field doesn't match up with what you sometimes see on an internet site or sometimes what you see in a camp setting. But y'all are there living it. And that carries a lot of weight. That's why I always like to say we try to work from the ground up, because when y'all know, a lot of times y'all's coaches know too. And I think that's really important because your coach needs to be a big ambassador for you as you go through the recruiting process, because that's who the colleges call first. And if they like you, they're there for you, they're going to put on for you. And it's important to have that relationship be strong.
Yes, sir. I mean, 100%. But that's what I think kills a lot of kids, drive, because they'll see a kid who they could definitely be better than. That kid might have 10 plus offers and still going, and he doesn't have anything, and he starts losing his confidence. So, I mean,
well, you went through it, man, because you are in a quarterback class this year that's pretty good, top to bottom, but there wasn't a lot of differentiators, between the number 1 quarterback all the way down to number 15 in this class.
Definitely.
I think all those guys have a case to say, I'm underrated here.
100%. But my thought process with it, I really want to thank my dad on it for sure, because growing up as a little kid, he was just a big role model for me with how he dealt with things.
Right.
So just seeing how he dealt with things, that's how I kind of carry myself in life, with school, football, just outside with people. And I think that's really what's helped me go along with this process. And, outside my father, just the people that I surround myself with. And then, Coach Gaston bringing me into Northshore.
For sure.
I mean, it's all just been a big impact in my life that's really helped me get to where I'm at today. So, Mr. G, that's a great question, because, that's an amazing process that I, as an individual, have to go through. But we seen my top 3.
Yep.
Posted a little while ago. But what I did is I kind of I broke it down, and I wouldn't say a weird way, but it could kind of be taken as a weird way. But one of the things I did was, how the coaches were reaching out to me, showing interest, because like if there's a girl that you like, you're gonna reach out to that girl, you're gonna let her know that you're interested in her, right? So with those 3 schools, they were constantly hitting me up, asking about my family, asking how my people were doing, which also shows that it's more than just football to them.
Yeah, I love that what you said about, because I kind of make a similar comparison when it comes to offers, right? Like whenever sometimes you're looking for a date or whatever, right? Like sometimes, the messages aren't flying in, but as soon as you get one on the hook, then you get a couple more texting you, right? Like, and the same thing happens with offers. And I think what you said about trying to go on these official visits, decide who to visit using that same strategy, because the analogy I always like to use is, you were probably, and you already talked about it a little bit, you were like a big youth league player, right? Like, the coaches who really wanted you on the team.
Definitely.
Those coaches, right? The ones that was having you try out just to come, like, to be at the tryout, and the ones who needed you.
That wanted you.
Yeah, and that same thing kind of carries over a lot of times. Like, feel like in the recruiting process, am I out of line for feeling that way, or is that kind of like what you were saying too?
I mean, that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, it just shows like how much they really want you.
All right, Caleb, the time's coming, man. It's going to be time for your commitment. You're down to 3 schools. They're back here on the screen behind us. We're going to start with UTEP. It's in-state. What do you like about the Miners?
Well, first off, I just love their energy. Coach Scotty Walden, he's a very young coach. I think he's 34, 35. Super young as a head coach. I mean, that's kind of crazy if you ask me.
For sure.
But I just love the energy that they bring each and every single day. And he's the same guy every single day, Just from when I first talked to Coach Walden, and then the last time I've talked to him, which was like, I think maybe 3 days ago, he's just really excited to talk to me, and then just how he carries himself, like with his players. Just seeing how he interacts within the community and everything. It was just awesome as guy from Houston, seeing how he is.
Louisiana Lafayette, out of your top 3 schools, closest to home.
Oh yeah.
Was that a big factor for you whenever you were making the cut down, that this could be a school maybe a little bit closer to home that you could play at?
No, not really, if I'm being honest with you. How close the school is never really crossed my mind making this decision. I think what really drew me towards Louisiana Lafayette is just the coaching staff, and also I have a teammate there, Jacoby Isom. But just, what I've heard from Isom, and then how the coaching staff has broke things down to me, that's what really has drawn me towards them. But also the Louisiana culture, Louisiana food is probably my favorite food, if I'm being honest.
Mine too. I got to be honest with you too. It's probably my favorite too. I'm going to say now we're going to go to Utah State, right? Like, it's probably a school in Texas that not a lot of people know about, but they have a good selling point with Brock Mendenhall.
Oh yeah. And just talking with Coach Mendenhall, like I said, he's kind of like my dad. He has good structure, and he's straight to the point. Like, he doesn't try to work around anything. He's just straight to it, which is what I really love about it. But I mean, one of the things I also love is the environment. Coming from flat land and then seeing the mountains, and they still have snow on it, that was like a game changer. I was like, hold on now. You don't see this down here in Texas.
Houston.
Especially in Houston. So, I mean, it's just pretty awesome down there. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize what's outside of Salt Lake City, because they're about an hour away. They're in Logan.
Yeah.
So they're about an hour away from Salt Lake. So I don't really think people have seen, how like cool it is to not be in that kind of mini tourist spot.
That's why I kind of wanted to ask you about it, because us people who are in Texas don't get to go to Utah State, and check it out that often. You had that unique experience. Well, that was just one of the 3 programs that you broke down. It's between UTEP, Louisiana, and Utah State, and the time has come, man. Like, the clock's been ticking. You've been waiting for this announcement. I know that you've been looking forward to this moment, but now the time is yours.
Yes, sir. So, first, I just want to say that I'm glad all these 3 schools, reached out to me, and that they all pursued me. It really means a lot, and I don't like to blame the man up above for one.
And I also like to thank the people around me, you know, my dad, my friends, family,
for just helping me make this decision and also, you know, being there to support me. But for the next 3 years, I'll be taking my talents to the University of Utah State. Yes, sir! It's on, man.